If you're new here and you do not know what Fasnacht is, do not worry. I have a video that will take you through step by step everything you need to know about Fasnacht, including when it starts, when it ends, and then actually what to expect and how to run the event. So make sure to check out that video. Without further ado, let's get into 10 tips that will help you complete the Fasnacht event faster and hopefully get you into the next Fasnacht event, so that way you can increase your odds of getting one of these rare rewards. I do ask that if you learned something new or this video helps you out, please give me a big Vault Boy thumbs up and consider nuking that subscribe button and sharing this video, as it does greatly increase the odds of this being seen by others to help them out, and it helps out the channel. Now, these tips are not hacks or AFKing, but if you are going to AFK, don't put multiple accounts on the same server, and make sure you're playing instruments. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to know what AFKing is, make sure you check out the other video, because I'm not going to go over it any further here. Anyway, there are 10 tips that I definitely recommend to help you out. Let's go ahead and start by the very first one, and that will be to blow up all the vehicles. Why might you want to blow up all the vehicles? Well, they will explode and kill your robots, so you need to make sure that you actually blow them up. There are 3 down here that can be blown up, and it's definitely trial and error. So the first one's going to be that Jeep right there across from the church. I do believe this Jeep also will blow up, and it does. This one should not, and it does not. And the last vehicle will be right here beside the cheese shop and the honey house, and it's this weird looking car right here. It's probably a Corvega. Anyway, you want to blow that one up as well. Now, why might you want to blow up these cars? Well, the reason is because if somebody else happens to blow up the car, or the super mutants happen to blow up the car, then you might have a bad time. By that meaning, one of your robots could die because the explosion could kind of take them by surprise. They could be walking right past it when it happens, and then when they die, your dreams of getting that rare mask get flushed right down the toilet. So make sure to start off by doing that. The next tip I have for you is to actually equip Woodchucker. So Woodchucker is going to help you gather wood more quickly, which means that you won't have to go to many places to get the wood that you need, because you will need 50 wood. So make sure that you have that equipped, and that means that you'll spend less time running around trying to get the wood as other people might. I will show you a couple locations where you can get wood. There are tons of wood and trees down over here right beside the church and in between this dance hall. There is wood behind this shed right here. There is more wood down here. There's even more wood at the honey house here. Some on the inside of the cheese house, there and here, and some on the side of the cheese house. Tip number 3 is going to be weapons. Now, because of the super mutant attack, you definitely want to make sure that you can head all the bad guys off at the pass and not have to be running around trying to kill them as they approach the actual robots, because if the robots go down, that means that your dreams, like I said, are over with. So you want to have a weapon that you can shoot from far away. So that is number 1. Number 2, you definitely should have the weapon be explosive. Why explosive? Well, because if you have an explosive weapon, when you go to collect the intestines, when you shoot at the squirrels, you'll probably kill 2 or 3 different animals, and then you can just do loot all and pick up those intestines, and you'll have it done even quicker. The next weapon you should probably get is a flamer or a flame weapon. I would suggest the Holy Fire. I do know that it works fantastically, and, well, I just enjoy it, but you definitely should pick up those 3 weapons. I'll get into the flamer weapon here in a second, but definitely consider those. The next tip is going to deal with another perk card, and that is the Butcher's Bounty. When you're actually collecting those intestines, wouldn't it be nice if you just had to shoot your gun once and you killed 4 or 5 enemies right there in one go, you loot all, and then you get extra meat. So the Butcher's Bounty is located under Perception, and it will definitely increase your drop chances whenever you're collecting meat. So it's definitely a must-have if you're trying to get in and out of the situation as fast as possible. The next tip is going to be Friendly Fire. Now, Friendly Fire is located under Charisma, and it is definitely a must-have because you can actually heal the robots as they go along. So if one does almost go down because something explodes next to it, or it just happens to be the one that everything's picking on and just happens to get to it, you can heal that robot up very quickly with any type of flame weapon. That's supposed to include a chainsaw that has the flamer mod on it, the ripper that has the flamer mod on it. The only thing I don't think it counts is the flamer mod that is on the Enclave rifle. I'm not sure if that one works, just because the last time I had heard it didn't. But definitely any of the other flame weapons should definitely work. I think the pitchfork has a flame weapon and stuff like that. So like anything that's like that, you definitely can use. The flamer is definitely the best one since we're already coming out of the Burning Love event. Just hang on to your flamer or get a Holy Fire, and that will help you out there. The next tip is that instead of actually shooting them with the fire, you just run up to them and hit them. So you want to melee them with the weapon equipped and just like nudge them like you normally would, kind of like this. By walking up to them and hitting them, they will heal faster than when you just shoot them. I would just switch weapons out and make sure you have an explosive weapon so you can tag all those little fun animals that you'll be taking down to get intestines, and then you can also use it to, take down enemies from far away. Just switch back over. You can run up and heal the robots and then spray them down if you want to, and continue on about your day. Tip number 6 is going to be when you approach the event, start it immediately if you're trying to get to the next Fasnacht event. But make sure that you can do it alone and that you're ready to do so. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you possibly just will fail the event before it ever gets started. Because like I said, it is timed and you do need that. But I would start with the robots that are the furthest away or the ones that take the longest to complete. And that would be between these 3 robots, because they're these 3 robots that can spawn in, because there's only 5 that spawn in, but there's 8 possible robots that can spawn in. Their tasks are, well, this one over here that's at the honey house, the one where you have to exterminate the honey beasts, you definitely may have to start that one first, just because of the simple fact that, well, the honey beasts don't always spawn in right away. So if you actually just run over, talk to the robot real quick and prompt it, you can run over and check for this guy to see if they need eggs, and this guy over here for the musician, just in case they're here. I normally try to start at the musician and check there first, because if people are AFKing, this is definitely the first place I go to, because they can go ahead and complete the task before I even get to the next one. So what I'll do is I'll run down the street here and look to see if they're here, and if they are here, sitting here and playing, I will then look to see if the robot's here, just kind of as I run, and then if I do need to go over there and talk to them, I do. If not, I run straight over here to the honey house, and I normally talk to this robot in here, so that way the honey beasts are spawning in, and then I go and check over here to see if there are any bakers up in here, so that way I can go ahead and give them the eggs. And if I need wood while I'm down here, I'll go ahead and grab some wood real quick, run back up the street, and then take care of the other robots. The next tip is to be on time and ready to start, especially for the first event. The quicker that you get there and the quicker that you get it done and get it started and over with means that you can get to the next server just as quickly. If you run this event fast enough, you actually can maybe possibly get to the next Fasnacht before anybody has even started it, and you can do that one as well. It has been more difficult as of late to actually get to the next server, in my opinion. Like, mine kind of won't allow me to switch as fast as I used to be able to. Sometimes I actually have to shut down the entire game. I'm on Xbox Series X, and that has been quite a bummer. So if you're noticing that, it might not be worth your time to do these things, but I do want to just put that out there. Tip number 8 is to come prepared. By that I mean that you show up, you're ready to actually complete all the tasks and turn in all those quests as soon as possible. That means that you need to keep items from your actual run from the time before. So in between running Fasnacht, you can actually come over here and farm up some intestines, you can farm up the beer steins, you can do all that stuff in between and actually be ready for the next event. I would do it shortly after the last one ends so that way you're not missing out. But if you've already farmed all this stuff several times, you might want to reset your items and then switch to another server so that way you will not be running around and trying to collect wood from wood piles that you've already collected from. Now there are a ton of wood piles down here, but yet you don't want to be in that situation. Now, what I normally do is during the event, one of the things that you need is 10 beeswax. After I've done everything and the guys are already starting to march, I wait until after the rat toad attack and I will just hit in here and collect all the beeswax for the next event. So that way I am ready to go. Beeswax does weigh a ton, so I do want you guys to be aware of that. The next item that you can actually have completed and ready to go is the beer steins. You can collect those 10 beer steins that you need, like I said. You also need 20 rat toad eggs. Now you can actually start collecting those now if you want to. You can go to events like Tea Time or the one where you have to go to the lighthouse and light up the lighthouse with all the firefly essence stuff, the biofluid. You can keep those rat toad eggs for the very first event, or you can just pick up extras while you're looking around and trying to get the eggs done and keep those for the following event as well, because sometimes you'll be gathering and you'll go to turn it in and somebody's already done it, and so you'll have them extra anyway. So that's always a good thing to do. You also want to go ahead and be prepared with your 12 intestines. You can start doing that now as well. Just go kill little creatures, your rabbits, I think your chickens, your possums, and your squirrels. Just go find different areas where you can actually kill them and start farming their intestines now. You can put on the butcher's bounty, like I said, and just start grabbing up all the intestines and being ready. But you need 12 each time. So like I said, pick up as many as you possibly can. You can kill some of the squirrels and stuff in between the events and everything and just be ready for the following events. The last one you'll need is 50 wood. You definitely want to be prepared with the 50 wood. So what I would say is like I said, just collect as much as you possibly can and then just carry it on your person. Now with that being said, you may want to go ahead and equip Pack Rat, because the beeswax and the wood and the beer steins are all junk. You can actually make it weigh less by equipping the Pack Rat, and that is going to be found under strength. Because you'll be running around with all this junk, not just the Pack Rat perk, but in between the actual runs, you may want to store stuff away. And if that is the case, you may want to go ahead and clear out your character and make sure that you can carry all this stuff and or your stash box. Just be aware of what I already said about the stash box. But if that is the route you're going to take, you might want to go ahead and start clearing that out. Just like I said, the beeswax weighs a ton, and you'll quickly learn that. Number 10 is going to be equip good with salt. If you're running around right now trying to get all those intestines and red toad eggs, or you're planning on doing that and holding them for the next event, you don't want that stuff going bad. So make sure that you equip good with salt. I definitely would put it on good with salt 3. It'll prevent it from spoiling a whole lot, and that's going to be under luck. The last tip that I want to leave you with is going to be bring a hazmat suit or power armor with fusion cores. You definitely want to be prepared for the event. People like to nuke this event. Be prepared for that. Definitely be prepared for that. If you load into a server and it's already nuked, you want to be able to quickly change and go with the flow and get it done, because the robots will not die, but you can. So make sure that you're prepared for that. You might even want to turn on what rats or something like that. Get your Chinese stealth armor ready. Whatever you need to do to be prepared, go ahead and be carrying that on your person so that way you can change quickly if the need arises. Hopefully this video has given you some tips that will help you run Fasnacht more smoothly and help you get over to your next Fasnacht event as fast as possible. If it has, like I said, please make sure to give me a big Vault Boy thumbs up. Consider watching my other videos and my other tip videos as I try to help you guys out as best as I can. And I'll see you guys in the wasteland. I'd like to take a moment to thank all my channel members, the Deathclaws. You guys are freaking amazing, and without you, none of this would be possible. So I am truly blessed and happy to have you guys to be part of my Deathclaw family.